Weathertop is one of those builds I've been looking forward to and dreading in equal measure. Let's build Amon Sul. We start with a circular expanded polystyrene base. It's strong, lightweight and inexpensive. The ruins themselves are built from XPS foam, which is ideal for carving and adding texture. A series of circular layers create the base, inner circle and stepped platforms. 5 identical supports form the outer structure. Simple columns sit between them. Matching arches rest above. Staircases provide access through the ruins. And finally, a few statues to finish everything off. To make things easier for myself and for you to recreate your own, I've created a set of printable templates that contain every piece we'll need. We'll begin by cutting 2 roughly 17-inch circles from 2cm expanded polystyrene. Next, print and cut out the templates, which are all designed around 2cm thick XPS foam. Stick the templates onto foam and carefully cut each piece out. That gives us pretty much everything we'll need. Before reaching for the glue, let's do a quick dry fit so we can see how it all fits together. We have our 4 base sections, the inner ring, the circular steps, the upper stair ring, the supports, the centre columns. I did originally design these small pieces to add extra detail, but in the end I didn't think they added enough, so we'll leave them out. And finally, our external staircase. With everything cut out, we can finally see how the whole structure comes together. The templates included dark guidelines showing where each step should be. Mark those first, then cut each 5mm step into the staircase. The inner circle steps follow the exact same principle. If we're happy with those steps, it's time for some hot glue. Glue together the base and both sets of stairs. Before attaching the inner ring, we'll add the flagstones to the platform. Mark around the inner ring first, then draw out the squares. These will act as a guideline. Cut each stone in with a craft knife before widening the joints with a pen. I made some of mine larger than others and I wasn't aiming for perfection here. This is one of those areas where you can really put your own stamp on the build. Next, we'll move around the outside edge. I carve roughly halfway down before creating a simple brick pattern. Again, cut first with a knife before widening each joint with a pen. To finish the stonework, I add a little battle damage. A few cracks, a few missing chunks, and then my rock makes another appearance on the show. Giving the foam a good bash transfers real stone texture into the surface, creating wonderful natural damage. Now we can continue adding detail to the inner ring. The sides receive the same carved stone pattern as before, but this time I add a thinner flagstone layer across the top. These will become the facing stones beneath the supports. Texture those before gluing everything in place. Next come the supports and the inner steps. The steps act as spacers, so texture those first before carving the supports. I've chosen much larger stone bricks here to make the supports feel heavier and more ancient, but feel free to experiment with your own pattern. The supports are designed to slot neatly over the inner ring. Glue your first support wherever you like. Mine simply hides one of the joins. Then alternate between supports and stair sections all the way around. Everything should fit together quite tightly. Now let's add those flagstones. Mark the centre and split each in half again. Then let's go ahead and texture the stonework. Next we'll tackle the staircases. Texture both the external and internal stairs before attaching the outer staircase. The internal staircase needs an entrance. Simply carve an archway through one of the supports. I placed mine opposite the outer stairs, but again you can position yours wherever feels right to you. While we're still cutting foam, now's the perfect opportunity to damage the supports. We deliberately made every support identical to keep the template simple. Now you can shorten them, chip away corners, or remove sections to create much more natural looking ruins. Once you're happy, glue the remaining stairs into place. Now for the columns. I wanted them to have a slight curve rather than perfectly square edges. After marking the top and bottom stones, I trimmed away the corners in the middle. With plenty of ventilation, you can carefully use a lighter to soften the foam and round everything over. Texture them again before gluing them in place on the flagstones. I glued mine just to the edges, leaving enough space for miniatures to stand between them. For the upper arches, we simply reuse the inner ring template to cut another circular section. From there, I freehand each arch, cut them out, texture them and glue them in place. Add as many broken arches as you like before damaging a few of the columns to complete the ruined appearance. Next, I printed a few statues to decorate those platforms. If you don't have a printer, a spare miniature would work just as well. Originally, I thought breaking a fully printed statue would be easy. It wasn't. So I went back, modelled a damaged version instead and printed that. Much better. Glue the statues into place before adding one final pass of damage with a knife. Finally, brush on some glue and let's sprinkle over some sand for that small detail rubble. While that dries, we can turn our attention back to the base. I've marked out where Amon Sul will sit, along with a natural path leading visitors up towards the ruins. The staircase sits slightly to one side of the ramp, encouraging miniatures to naturally flow towards the entrance. Expanded polystyrene carves incredibly easily. It's messy, but it is easy. Gradually carve away the foam to create the slope. I again use a lighter to melt away any loose foam beads before continuing to shape the hill into a rocky, rough surface. Next comes the larger rubble. Take the leftover offcuts and trim them into rough stone shapes. Rolling and squeezing them with your hands softens the sharp edges. A quick pass with a lighter softens them even further. And let's glue those around the hill. My placement isn't completely random. I've deliberately positioned several near the top of the slope so miniatures could scramble over them as an alternative route. With the construction complete, all that's left now is to bring everything to life with paint. Expanded polystyrene is made up of thousands of tiny beads, and unfortunately it looks exactly like thousands of tiny beads if you just paint it. So we'll use a technique we've covered before on the castle build. I mix together PVA glue with a dark blue-black emulsion paint and apply it onto the hill. Then I press in some tissue paper into the wet glue before stippling it down with a brush. The tissue hides the bead texture beautifully while adding subtle surface variation. This paint is simply household emulsion. I use a lot of it and I'm definitely not paying miniature paint prices for scenery this size. Before everything dries, I also sprinkle on a little sand to add a bit more texture. With that dry, we can glue on Amon Sul onto the hill and give the ruins the same dark blue-black base coat. Once dry, we can start dry brushing, and terrain is the perfect place for dry brushing. On the hill I gradually build up layers of browns, greens and finally dark and light greys. For Amon Sul itself, I use slightly different combination of browns, greens, a few blues, just to separate the ruins from the surrounding rock. To add even more colour variation to the hill, I mix a few simple washes using matte medium, flow improver and water. I've chosen blue, black, brown and green. Before applying them, I wet the surface with water. That encourages the washes to blend naturally together, creating much softer transitions. And with that dry, our Weathertop is finished.
This was the great watchtower of Amon Sul. We shall rest here tonight.
Whether you use it for games or simply as a display piece, I think it captures the feel of Amon Sul beautifully. If you'd like to build your own, all of the printable templates are available over on my Patreon. A huge thank you to everyone already supporting the channel. Until next time, happy modelling.